screen with everyone, and we're just gonna go through the process. I'm not, you probably have the same slides as I do, but I just want to take a little time and go through it and maybe field a few questions if you have any. Um, Most of this obviously is still going to be new to you guys when you start your first application. So I want you guys to know that we are here to support you in real time. So if you start your first application, especially your first ones, and you run into a problem, just pick up the phone, get us on the phone, either myself or Tomer. And if we don't know the answer, we'll get an expert on the phone. So we want to solve your problem with the customer at the table whenever possible. Okay.
Okay,
Um, and I think you guys would appreciate that because sometimes in the beginning it's a little frustrating as you're learning the process. So we want to, hold your hand as much as possible so you guys can become experts and then be used in that way for new folks coming on. So I am going to share my screen with you guys. 1 second. This is the one. Let me know when you guys can see this.
I can see it.
All right, perfect. So this is the Infiniti Mobile vCare Agent Portal enrollment process. And the first couple of slides is actually something for you guys to read on your own. It's actually the steps and processes that Infiniti, the portal, will actually take to check an applicant. Uh, we're going to skip right to this part. And you guys still see that?
Yes.
So this is a slide that talks about what to do before you start so you don't get too far into an application and then find out after the fact that you don't have everything you need to qualify the customer. So we kind of call this pre-approval, right? So ultimately, with more and more experience, you will see the type of proof of benefits that you need, the type of IDs that you need, and the certain instances that may or may not qualify them. So what this is basically saying is that you should speak to the applicant prior to starting their application, so you can confirm that they have what you need in order to put their application through the entire process and get them a decision. Without having what you need, you're not going to be able to get to the end of it. Okay. So I'm not going to read through every single one of these. You guys can read it. It's pretty self-explanatory. If any questions come up, let us know. Obviously, we'll go through this with you as much as you need. I'm going to jump on to the actual application. So this next uh, this next page has what you should see when you're logging into the portal. Before you start an application, this is the screen. This right here on this slide is the actual link. So you can open the web page for yourself, and then it'll take you to this up top, and you'll put in your username, your password, and you're ready to start an application. So after you've logged in, this is the first screen you're going to see. And what you will notice is that you will start every application with a zip code. This is the customer zip code. So somebody walks up, you've seen that they have an ID, or you may be holding it at this point. You see that they have what they need, and you're starting the app by putting in a zip code. Okay. The next page after you do that will be the personal information on each customer. If this is too small, let me know. I can always make it a little bigger for you guys. But it's first name, last name, just the basics of every single customer. Uh, this is how they would like to be contacted. I would ask if they want a text message or an email, and whatever that is, try to collect where the email address is. A lot of people don't have email addresses, and so you'll put in, 123 at AOL test or something like that. But I would encourage you guys to get that email address because that is one of the ways that Infiniti actually communicates with the customers and shows them, the benefits of the program and also shares whatever benefits they have in the forms of programs or reward programs for the customers. And we will have one that we're rolling out, so this will be an important field. After that, at the bottom, you'll see that the affordable connectivity program, ACP consent, must be checked off. You see that red little box at the bottom? Then after that, you will click continue. The next page is further information, and you're putting in the actual address, the applicant service address in here, and you're saying whether it's a temporary or permanent address, and whether it's a billing shipping address, and whether it's the same as what you've put in on top. Then you're clicking continue. This is a message that may pop up and it says USPS's current address is below. Would you like to continue with it? So at this point, if you wanted to just continue, you see it matches the ID and everything that you have, you continue. If not, you modify. That's all that basically says. The next screen after that is the benefits. So they made it pretty easy. You pick the one that the customer actually qualifies for. You can actually enter a number here, a national verifier number. You see that right there? So your check is going to go through the national verifier, but some agents ask their customers to create an account before they even start an application with the national verifier. And we have provided, I believe, the email link in your resource email. So a national verifier is a database that confirms eligibility. And the reason that I'm showing you this is that if you create a customer account with the customer in the national verifier and satisfy whatever they need to have to give an approval number, that number, which usually starts with a Q, can be entered right here in this field. And if you have that number, your application should bypass the national verifier check. In other words, be much faster and get you right to the approval process. If you don't do this, you may come to a status where you still have to go to the national verifier and update some information there, but I will show you where the link is inside the portal for that. But this number here is what it's for, okay? Let's just move on to the next. So the next page, sorry, let me make it smaller. This is the pop-up you would get if you chose the income, right? So somebody doesn't have those programs, but they still fit an income level. And so this is just basically telling you how many people and what the yearly income should be, so you don't have to do the math. And then here you're putting in how many people are in the household, checking the acknowledgement, clicking done. Okay? And you're moving on to the next page. This, if you didn't put the number in on the other slide or on the other page that I just talked about, this is another opportunity to complete the national verifier right through this. Okay? And so once you click this link, it will take you to complete whatever the national verifier is asking for. One caveat, you may go there and fill out what they need, and the national verifier will run a test on what you gave them. And if they need something else, they will not notify anyone. So if it's in pending for a long time, I always advise agents to go back into the national verifier with their customer in the customer account. And there's only one or two links. You click the link and it basically says, hey, the customer needs to upload something extra. And you can help the customer take a picture or whatever that is. or upload the form, and then your application will get approved. Okay? So just a caveat. But on this page is where you start, unless you've already done it, like I said. Okay, from time to time, the nav has system issues. When you hear of these issues or outages, your master agent will be notified. We usually get notified by an email. We will forward that email directly to you. And here's the message you may see. And this is if the entire national verifier goes down for the entire country, for all companies, until they get it rectified. And so you can imagine this is a pretty big department, let's say. So when they go down, somebody's working on it immediately because it affects everybody in the entire field. Okay, so don't get nervous, but when it happens, this is what you may see, and obviously contact us. These are some of the other error messages that you may see, and some helpful hints on how to proceed with the enrollment. I really encourage you guys to read through this entire thing by yourself. It may answer a lot of the questions that you may be coming up with right now. So let's just go through these few. An ACP application already exists for this consumer. A Lifeline application cannot be created at this time. So obviously those are pretty self-explanatory. Consumer is not eligible to transfer service in the month. So ACP limits a transfer of a company once a month, and then the person has to wait until the following month. So if they ultimately cannot, and they want to come to us, you can safely tell them as soon as the month ends on the 1st, the 2nd, come back, we will process your application. The subscriber in this transaction is a duplicate of another subscriber. The primary address in this transaction matches the primary address of another subscriber. The subscriber must complete the head of household worksheet in the national verifier. This is one of those instances that I was talking about, where if you have the customer with you, you simply make an account in the national verifier. You go in, you log in with the customer, you click a link. They have a form that pops up, head of household. It may have not come up the first time, but now it does after the secondary check. And as soon as you fill that out and you click submit, the national verifier will approve it, and so will Infiniti, and you'll be able to move forward. And the same thing for the other one. The subscriber has not finished qualifying through the national verifier. They can complete their application at acpbenefit.org. That is probably the website that you can go to with the customer and create an account and fill that out. I will double check if that is exactly the website that we provide, and I may just add this one if it isn't to the resource email. So the next series of screens will take us through the national verifier screen process to determine eligibility. So let's look at those. And this is what it should look like when you click that link and you're going to the national verifier. And it's simple questions that the customer will have to answer. And this is basically a form that is filled out when someone at the address is already showing a benefit. And so at one address, there may be multiple family units. And so in order to not disqualify someone or an applicant or a family unit that is eligible, this is the form that is filled out that says, hey, we share a household, but we are separate units and each one of us deserves a credit. Okay. These are certifications that need to be done, obviously, by the customer. So someone at your addresses already gets a lifeline or affordable connectivity benefit, and it basically asks you to go through these questions. So these are the forms that they're showing you again. This is the next screen once you're finished with that, and it says, this is the national verifier saying that the person is now qualified for the ACP program, which gives them their credit. And I just want to take a look. On this one, if you take a look, the number is a B number. It's right here. Remember I said that number that we can put in earlier? And I said it was a Q number. I guess sometimes it's also a B number, but this is the number. Now you don't have to go back and do this once you're already going through the national verifier and you get this screen. You're just going to move on to the next screen. This is again check marks and stuff that the customer needs to make an attest to, saying that they make an this is their agreement. See, by signing the FCC application, I agree to accept Infiniti Mobile's terms and so on. So ACP benefits transfers, and you can quickly see what they're looking for in these slides. This is the proof in case you need to upload your proof, an identity, and you have it. You can choose a file right here, and it has easy steps to upload proof. This is explaining acceptable proof to the best of its ability. So I would refer to this in every case until you know it by heart, right? From experience. This is additional proof. It's another screen that allows you for any additional documents that they may ask for. So let's say they ask for proof of eligibility, or let's say they ask for ID, and something happened where they need to see, the Medicaid card or something that they're proving the eligibility of the program that they're in. So additional screen. Okay. Here you're selecting a plan. One is for, at the bottom it says here, this one is for T-Mobile, which is what you're going to be working with. If you ever get into an area where T-Mobile doesn't work, you will see this one for AT&T once it's offered. Right now it's offered, but it has to be assigned down to the actual agent that's working, and confirmation of the zip code as AT&T only needs to take place. So right now you guys will be working with the T-Mobile, which will be this plan. So you'll select this plan by clicking the select button. Here, you will select whether the customer is just getting a SIM or they're getting a tablet. So a tablet, and this is wrong. We're going to have this changed eventually, but it is not a $20 charge to the customer. It is a $15 charge to the customer.
Okay.
And it'll be if the customer gets the ACP benefits. Now, so let's talk about ACP transfers. Could be the transfer of an ACP account and the data associated with it, or it could be an ACP transfer with a tablet purchase credit. So a tablet purchase credit, from what I'm understanding, is once a year. And so a person that gets that credit on your next screen when you're charging them, the point of sale system will either give you an option for $15 or $115. If it's $115, that means the person didn't qualify for a tablet credit and they can still have the free SIM. But in order to get a tablet from us, they need to pay the full price, which is $115. Okay, that's as simple as that. Either they have the credit and you'll see 15, or you'll see 115. This is the next page. This page is the point of sale page. So after you've made the choice, let's say the person qualifies for a $15 tablet. As you can see, the tablet device is $15 already. And it's just asking now for a billing address and the card that's going to be used and the information for the card. Okay, after you have that, you will click continue. It will ask you to review the details. It will ask to certify the truth or the customer and make an e-certification here. And then you will click continue. Okay. Once you click continue, you should get this screen. The registration is successful and you have an enrollment ID here. And you can click this to enroll a new customer. Or you see this one's actually pending review, and it says the order will move through the RTR in real-time queue. You'll receive a message of accepted or denials, and you see the little clock going on the review process. Okay. This is a screen where you're checking the statuses of your orders. Okay. And can you guys see that? Oh, I need to probably do this. Okay. So these are the statuses that you'll see for your applications when you're checking, when you want to look back. So I can see that someone, let's say, may want to just move forward to the next application. And I think that's what these statuses are for, and also to kind of help you navigate on what needs to be done with the person next and with the application. And most of these are pretty self-explanatory. On top of that, if you don't understand a status or something that needs to be handled, you can always reach out to us. And you can also reach out directly to Help Desk, which is agent support in Infiniti. The way you reach out to them is either sending them an email through helpdesk@infinitimobile.com, or in your resource email that we sent to you, we have links that are specifically tied directly to each department. So we have one, enrollment delay. If your application is sitting too long in delay, you click the link, it opens up a form, you put in the information that's required, and when you click submit, you get a copy and it goes directly to the RTR agents. They will respond directly to you. So far, responses are 3 to 5 minutes from what I see. I'm copied on them most of the time. And, you know, if you copy me, I'll always be on it, but most of the time they do it. All right. Next step. The registration is now successful. There's an enrollment ID, and you need to proceed to the handover of the actual device. If not, you would go to a new customer. See that? But you're going to proceed to the new device, to the handover. Here you'll see the SIM and device information. Then will be assigned to the customer. You will select the hand-to-hand, and you will be prompted to fill out the requirement information. Please be accurate in your entry. Obviously, it's getting validated. So if you make a mistake, you're going to see that it's not found, and you're going to have to make sure that it works right. And also you can use a scanner if you want to, it will work. You can enter the SIM, and you can enter the device. Device is IMEI1. That is the number to enter. I've never seen, depending on a plan selected, where you'd have to put in the subscriber city. So I don't think you guys, that's for us. You want to make sure that you're using a correct SIM if you have both, but for now you only have T-Mobile devices, so you don't have to worry about it. All your SIMs will be T-Mobile as well. So I guess there's an alternate way to assign a device. I'm not privy to exactly what the process is, so I'll go a little further into it. But from what I see here, it looks like you can enter an enrollment ID. Oh, this looks like, yeah, this looks like a mistake, most likely. It'll take a few minutes for the network connection to take place. So once you actually link the device in the previous step by putting in the SIM and the device ID, you will need to, power up the phone and make sure that there's a connection to the device and the tower makes an initial handshake with the device, which may take a few minutes, and you will see the status change. It says that you can assume that the device is working when you see this, but I want you guys to actually open up a browser on the device once you have the SIM in it and you've gone through all these steps. And I'd like you to open up, some kind of a search and do an actual data search to confirm that the device is looking out into the web. Now, once you see that, you are 100% sure that device works and you can hand it to the customer. So you've done the application, you've done the approval, you've collected the funds for the tablet if you've sold one, or you've activated a SIM for the person on the device and you gave the person an active SIM. And at this point, you're ready to, you've done your search and you're ready to hand over the device. And here's what I just said. Please make an online connection using data or test. See, the test the phone call thing is not appropriate. I think it's because they are using the same slides for states that have both Lifeline and ACP. So disregard that. You will not have any phone calls to make, and there will not be phone data with an ACP benefit in a tablet. Okay? And so make sure you just make an online connection and you're using data to do a search. That pretty much concludes the slide portion of this. And I'm not going to turn the slides off. What I'd like to do is to give you guys an opportunity to have me go backwards and answer some questions. And if not, obviously, if you come up with questions after this, then just reach out to us and we'll go right back into this with you on an individual basis. So before that, does anybody have any questions that I need to kind of go back or go through, or anything I can clarify further?
The first, the same process for phone and tablet. We only got a tablet, so we're gonna have to use the same system, right?
Yeah, you're using the same system. And in states where phones are available, you'll see the option, but in states where they're not, like in your cell, you will not. You will see one option, you will choose that. The main thing is to remember that you're choosing the hand-to-hand, the handover. You're not shipping anything or anything like that. And you're making sure that the customer chooses the SIM or the tablet, and if they're choosing the tablet, that you're showing them that they get a credit or not. And those are the main things. But the system, from what I'm hearing out in the field, is almost built for a 5-year-old. It's very intuitive, it's very quick. There's always a continue button, there's always a back button. And like I said, anything that kind of bothers you, if you're 99.99% sure, then just pick up the phone and we'll make it 100 for you. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Anybody else, or any more? Anything else, Sal?
Yes, in the sheltered addresses. So we're gonna use in the sheltered address for multiple devices. I just guess, I asking this question because I used to do it on a phone and I never do a tablet. So this can work the same thing, right?
This is the same thing. That was the head of household form. So you're going to be able to use that. You're going to use the same address for multiple for multiple family units if you, and you'll be prompted to fill out a head of household form on the national verifier check.
Okay. Yeah, I
It
think
was the
we're
same for phones. And you know what? In your case, it's gonna be even weirder than that, right? Because it's not gonna be national verifier, it's gonna be the Texas database. So we're gonna have to kind of see how that works. Or maybe it will be the national verifier, because ACP is different from Lifeline. I think it will be. I think you are a national verifier, actually, so my mistake. Only for
Oh.
Lifeline do you have to deal with that crazy stuff in Texas, I believe.
Okay. That would sound good to me.
So yeah, that's better for you, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody else? Jose, Maria, Abigail, Deborah, Ray, anybody, jump in if you have anything. Two more. Only two more.
Hola, ¿sería posible si pudieran repartir esta diapositiva para poder estudiar más? Porque ya no se puede apreciar en el celular, ¿verdad? No todo se puede apreciar porque están en letras pequeñas y eso. ¿Alguien puede traducirle?
Can we got that these slides and to send it off to us? You know, most of the people see in the phone.
I thought you guys already all had it. Every single one of you will get this slide. Every single one. We're gonna email it right now. If Tomer's listening, please Tomer, send it to everyone.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, everybody's gonna get it.
I just need everyone to understand that, like, if you're in a state like a Georgia, that's not ACP only. So it's still the same slides. It's still the same, program. But you're gonna have options to be able to do Lifeline and ACP because Georgia has the certification. But everybody's gonna get these slides.
Okay, perfect. I think we clearly, and the people in Texas, we're going to be ready to start it. When is going to be the link available to start?
I think you guys are ready to start now.
Gotcha.
I think the link is already in the email, in the resource email. But again, when you get this slide, the link is in this slide as well. All you need is your username and passwords. If you don't have that, Tomer will get that to you.
Hey, Deborah. So basically, Deborah received everything. So she can send everything to all the agents
Perfect.
that J2B has in Texas, Florida, and Georgia.
Perfect. So Deborah has everybody's credentials.
Yeah,
guys.
she does.
And the link is in these slides and also in the resource email. And if you don't have either one by the end of the day, please reach back out and we will get that to you.
Gotcha. Perfect. Well, I got everything ready. Also, the only thing I got my banners came in today. Also, my teachers too, right? That's what I'm wearing.
Love it.
My one is just say phone. We can use those banners.
So the company is rebranding everything. They're making new shirts, new banners, new tent tops, new everything. That's going to take a month or two because it has to go through legal language and all that stuff that they sign for compliance. In the meantime, we're getting into part of the year where we're probably wearing jackets anyway. So I'm gonna do my best. I've asked them to provide some art. I just don't know if we need to kind of spend money on something that's gonna get changed in the months. You know what I mean? So with just a little bit of patience, and we're gonna get all the proper branding, and we're gonna overload you guys with stuff so you guys look good. In the meantime, do your best to look good. You see the colors, right? So I mean, do your best to look as good as you can. We're gonna keep adding stuff to your table to make you look more official as it comes in.
Got it. Perfect. So that mean in the meantime, you guys thinking to put phones in Texas too, right?
Yeah, we're looking to put phones in every state. So I know that we're gonna have, I think, 15 states that are on the next list that should be coming up in the next 60 days. I don't remember if Texas is on it off the top of my head, but I'll look back into it. And again, I don't know how long you've been doing Lifeline, but it used to be a joke that every company was like, yeah, we're getting that state next month. And 9 months later, it's like, it's coming. It's right there. Just we got the application. I don't want to be that guy. So they've told me this, and hopefully it comes true and they add phones to every state. That's what I would like to see. Because I'd like
Gotcha.
to see every customer be able to get both and walk away with a tablet and a phone.
Wow. Well, that sounds good to me. I'm very happy and I'm ready to start it. And I think the team in Texas is gonna be ready now.
Perfect. And you reach out for anything that you need. Don't worry about anything. If we can't, if we're not available, we won't answer the phone, and you can text us or you can do whatever you want, but we will make ourselves available to be, there on the spot when you need us as much as possible.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, guys. Anybody have anything else before I end the call? Nothing? Everybody's happy?
Also, this has been recorded, so I'm gonna send you guys the video as a link in
we're
about an
gonna
hour,
edit
so you guys
some
can
of it.
review it again. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna edit some of it so we don't have all the conversations like that. All right, cool. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.